My name is Valeria Vargas. I was raised in Idaho, born in Utah, and I heard about this event through an email, actually. When I saw the email, I was really excited and I signed up right away.
I'm Tom Fontanes. Now I live in Redland. I belong to a lot of art organizations, Latino artists, and so the word had come up 7 or 8 years ago that university was going to do this Calaveras. So I signed up. So I've been doing it since then. So that was like 2014, I think, 2013 or something like that when I've started doing it.
It was a really great opportunity for me to work with my hands again in a way that I could connect with my culture. It's not something that I've really had opportunities to do. So I've never been to Mexico even. I've never had that opportunity, and I thought this was a great way to learn more about the festival and really connect with other artists as well.
You do an art show, everybody does their own thing, so you'll get all different subjects and themes, but you really get to see people's art and the way they see their perspective if everybody's doing the same thing. So I like that. I just like the whole idea of the representation of creativity individually, and now as a group you get more of an idea of the way people see.
When we think about mourning, especially in the United States, that I can think of is a very systematic, linear process. And when I looked outside of this sort of, I don't know if it's solely European or just Western in general, idea of how we mourn and how death impacts us, I see in other cultures how much more positive it is, how much more fluid it is.
The whole idea of honoring distant relatives and even ancestors, and the whole idea behind it is that eventually everybody will have like a mass family reunion. People you haven't even met. I think that's beautiful. But that's, to me, is Dia de los Muertos, something really nice.
The Day of the Dead really gives them something different and unique, and something that a lot of people, I think, need. I would say the biggest way I could connect is actually going through the gallery and seeing everybody's story and why they chose the different symbols, the different colors, and the subject matter that they chose. It made me really see things from a different perspective, because when we say Hispanic culture, it almost sounds like it's this odd conglomerate. In reality, it's all encompassing. So that was one of the things that has really helped me expand my understanding of Hispanic culture.
My wife, both of us are Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans are a mixture of Spaniard, Taino Indian, and Black. Puerto Rican is a mixture of three. So this gives me a focus on the Hispanic side, the Latin side of it.
Do you have any background or training in art?
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer, so I've always kind of been dabbling in art. I only do a little bit of sculpting. It's not something that I have a lot of time for, but that's as much experience as I've had so far. I've never really had that much professional training.
Got some formal training, but never sitting in a class. So I've taken a few art classes in college and stuff, but nothing, major or very, very formal or serious.
So the title of this was a little bit humorous. It was called Ode to the Ink Cap. And I'm really interested in mycology. So when you think about the ink cap, you think of it when it's in a state of decay. And that's when the black part that's rotting is dripping off of the mushroom. That's when people most recognize it. And when I think about, death positivity and stuff, oftentimes we appreciate people more in our lives when they're starting to move on to the next life or passing on. So the mushroom itself is a way to connect to people. It's a sort of representation of, we need to appreciate people while they're still here. And that decay in itself is a beautiful thing. And I think the Day of the Dead really emphasizes that too, that passing on is like another beautiful point in our journey.
Sisquecas, or Sisqueca, which it's a Taino term which was like a chieftain, somebody that had passed away, and he held so much credibility that they decorated his face and stuff, honored him by preserving his image in tiles.
It was a very arduous process. It was lots of placing beads by hand individually and then stringing beads together. And I put it on a mirror specifically because I wanted to kind of represent like an alternative reality, and the reflection of like the glass beads and the mirror itself creates this ethereal look and kind of an ode to the next life and the unknown of it.
I'm a Vietnam vet, and I was diagnosed with PTSD decades ago. But art is the way, I deal with it. So when I get nice projects like this, I look forward to it. This piece itself, probably about 50 hours. After I'm through and I hand it in, it feels like there's something missing. There's like a gap. So I spend so much. I drilled out the eyes, cut into the mouth, the teeth. I filed down. So I do like plastic surgery almost. So, but I spend a lot of time, and I'm very, not serious, it's like fun for me. I really enjoy it.
I would definitely recommend everybody join if they can, and I would definitely love to have the opportunity to do this again. Once you start getting into the process, it all makes sense and it comes from within, so it's a really, really fun thing to do.